Hello everyone. So if you still remember last time you used some of the characters from Xinjiang to talk about some grammar points. And now we'll move on to another part of our grammar review. So we'll move forward to this one, which is about Racket Boys. So if you have watched this kind of drama before, probably you'll know some of the names of the characters in the questions we have here. So let's take a look at some of the questions. Probably you don't quite get it. And here are some of the details or some explanations for each grammar point. So like the very first one we have here, the challenge of the tournament will ask much of those young players in the countryside. So as you can see here, you ask something of someone. So in other words, much here means probably a lot of things, like a lot of abilities, a lot of kind of stuff over there. So which means those young players something, okay? Those young players something. So that's why we use ask of, okay? Ask something of someone. So when you ask something of someone, which means you require something, okay? So probably ask the abilities, ask the potentials of those young players, for example. So which means that require or need. There's another way we can use the word ask, which means you ask somebody for something. In this case, you want something or you request something. So for example, I ask him for some help. So here we're talking about something we want will be some help. So it's not about a person here. We ask for help, but I ask him for some help. But for this one, I ask much. So which means I need this one. There will be the word much. There will be something I need. So there's a little difference between ask something of someone and ask someone for something. Then we'll move on to question 8. The head coach had no right to get anything illegal for the players to win a victory or to win a final victory. So here we are going to talk about some of the verbs we can use here. So for example, usually we'll say buy something for someone, get something for someone, make something for someone, and leave something for someone. So that's from here we say get anything illegal for the players to win a final victory. Then we'll move forward. So here, as you can see from the question we have here, there'll be Yundam chose not to remain silent when he noticed that. So when he noticed something, which is about like Sengyong teased by a senior. So here, this is the verb remain. It's just like become or some of the be verb. You can just put an adjective behind. So you can say remain silent or keep silent. But in this case, we know he chose not to keep silent or he chose not to remain silent. So for the word silent, here as you can see will be an adjective and silence will be the noun. And for the next one, number 12, Wu Chang was afraid that he would what? So here we are going to talk about how we can use the word disappoint. So you can use disappoint as the verb first. And we have two other adjectives. There will be disappointing and then disappointed, as you can see here. So for example, you can say the game was disappointing because the result disappointed him. And then as you can see here, the game made him feel disappointed. All right, so disappointed, you can use disappoint as a verb. Then like this one, the result disappointed him. Then that's why I can say the game made him feel disappointed. Or you can just simply say the game made him disappointed. All right. So overall, we can say the game was disappointing. So for the choices we have here, we had to choose the one like this one. He would disappoint his father. So you disappoint someone, which means you make someone feel disappointed. And in this case, probably, we know Wu Chang, probably he will feel disappointed. All right. Then we can move on to the next one, which about Sengyong found herself what? So here we're going to talk about how we can use the verbs like find, keep, and leave. And behind this one, there will be an object. And behind the object, there will be something we use to describe this person or something here. all right? And usually it will be some of the words you can use to describe the status or the situation of this object, like someone or something. In this case, you can put an VING form for the active voice. You can use PP here for the passive voice. You can also simply put like adjective to tell about how this person feel, or the feeling of the person or something here. And also you can use the prepositional phrase, preposition, to tell the position or location of the object here. So we can take a look at some of the example sentences we have here. For example, you can say, she found her boyfriend, and we know her boyfriend was standing outside the gym, or her boyfriend stood outside the gym. So in this case, was standing or stood, these are all the active voice. So that's why we use ing form here. So you can say, she found her boyfriend standing outside the gym. And for the passive voice, you can just put PP here. So let's take a look at number 4 of the last sentence we have here. Her racket was stolen. So was stolen here is a passive voice. So that's why we have to use the PP form here. So you can also say, she found her racket stolen. Okay, her racket was stolen, and she found her racket stolen. Let's go back to the very first sentence we have here. She found her boyfriend standing outside the gym. And actually, you can just say something like this. She found him outside the gym. All right, so simply tell where this person was. So you can put a prepositional phrase or a preposition behind. She found him outside the gym. Then for the next one, she tried to keep him feeling happy. So keep him feeling happy. Also, she tried to keep him happy, or you try to keep him feeling happy. Okay, so this one, feeling, this one is the active voice, and we can also simply omit this one, just say she tried to keep him happy. So you can also put an adjective behind as well. Then for the very last one, in so, and here, as you can see from the choices, we should have one word here, but unfortunately, in our question, we don't have the word here. So probably you have to think about, because here we only have subject he, but we don't have any verb here. So he here refers to in so. Okay, I just try to make it simple here. And so here we should be a verb like studied, and this one will be good enough. Okay, so he studied at a middle school in Haenan, which was a poor school. So we need a verb here. Then for the next one, he wanted what? Okay, so probably here you can say like, wait a second. So he wanted, so usually for the word want, you have to say want something or want to do something. So actually we need something behind. So probably in this case, you can say like this one. He wanted to be a player at the school. Okay, he wanted to be a player at a middle school in Haenan, or he wanted to be a player there. And for this one will be the correct one, right? He was elected the class president because of his top performance. But for the last one, here you have to make this one into something like this. First, originally you have to change the subject in so into those people. So those people, and also you have to put one more verb here. There will be were. All right. So those people were electing the new class president, and probably we know in the end, In So was elected the class president because of his top performance, like academically and also for the sports. All right. So these are all the key points of our very first review of grammar. So hopefully you can continue to review some of the grammar points by next week. And then we'll have another grammar test soon. See you around. Bye.